Well, very nice to have you here. This is the Manifest Academy, and I am your host, Annie TK. I'm so happy to have you here today. Are you seeing what is written on my shirt? Rapid growth. That is something that I am wishing for you. That is something that I'm wishing for myself. And that is something that I am wishing for all of us. How have you been? I would like to think you've been very well and doing just fine. So I want us to just dive in. My week has been very hectic in a nice way. I've been with a couple of friends. Some of them I last saw them long ago, 2007. Some of them, I don't know. Some of them in 2007. I did see them. So you can imagine, when did I see them? But yeah, I am here today so we can share some of the things that help us grow and achieve some of the things that we want. And the things that we want, we have to push hard to get them. We have to strive, we have to stay focused on all the things that we have been talking about. Now, is this something that I want us to talk about? And this same heading is Speak and Act. That is in line with faith. Yes, you are right. It is in line with faith. Speak and you act. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But remember, you don't just speak, and what you speak defines the things that you act. Those are the things that you do. So when the thing becomes real in your heart, you start to speak. That is where that quote out of the abundance of the heart. While sometimes you think it is a joke, while sometimes you think like, okay, I'm just saying it and what. No, it has filled your heart, it has become you, it has consumed, it has overtaken you, and now you are speaking it. So that is something in line with faith, you know. The loop of faith. Faith is a loop. It's not that you just have faith and then everything is going to work out. No, it is like it's a chain. Let me say it's a chain. It's a loop. It's a continuous loop. It keeps moving and moving. Now, the loop of faith on its own is incomplete without the action. Yes, if you do not act, then that loop is not complete at all. But let me read for you somewhere in James chapter 2, where it says, what does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? That is what it says on verses 14. Can faith, like, you can't say you have faith without works. That faith cannot save you. You know why? You might have a lot of faith, but that faith that you don't even do, that does not produce fruit, that is impotent faith. That faith is impotent. And impotence is something that is a situation where you cannot produce. We have people who are referred to as impotent. These are people who cannot produce fruit. For example, if I can just pose a question, for all the faith that you've been having, the things that you have been speaking and professing, how much has been produced since then? How much fruit have you produced? You say you are this, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. People, when they are greeted in some circles that I am in, which is, I think, is a good thing. And sometimes you have to speak something until you start to even believe that it is there. In the beginning, it may not be there. You may not be seeing it, you may not be feeling it, but as you continuously speak it, then in that way, it is able to form and then become how it should be. But I'm talking about the part of speaking, like what you speak, but you can't just speak without acting. You can't just speak without acting. So you can have faith without works, but then it can't work. Faith without works, but then it cannot work because it is not ignited. Now, the action is what ignites the faith. You know how you, like, the action, the thing that you do is what ignites it. Yeah, let me just call it an ignition. Is what ignites it. For example, if you have matchsticks and the matchbox. Now, the matchbox has that part where you have to ignite the matchstick. So even if you have your matchsticks just like that without the matchbox, there's no way you can ignite it. Now, that is the faith. The action of lighting that fire is what makes it important or useful. So your faith, which has no works, is not useful. So you might have a lot of faith to move mountains, faith to walk on the water, but if you do not do the action itself, then it is impotent. It is not useful. It is useless indeed. And you see, over time, when you keep having that faith, you know, I have my colleagues, the Christians, especially the born-again Christians. Now, this one, some of them, instead they have faith, they want to speak, they can profess words. They can profess all words. When you greet them, how are you? I am great, I am blessed, I am fearfully, wonderfully made. All those things are nice if you could act about them. But now then they tell you, like, even when you continue in the chapter of James, verses 6, that's the very chapter, they will tell you, for example, if there's a brethren who is hungry, and then they tell you they're hungry, they haven't eaten, and all you say is, peace be with you. It is okay, that is a blessing you have sent them. Like, go in peace, what you pray for them. But why don't you do the action of giving them the food? Yes, the action of giving them the food. Now here you want to do a business, you have those big dreams. Your dreams are big, but you have never done anything. You are there procrastinating all the time because you want a perfect thing, a perfect image on paper before you do. Start doing, start volunteering. Because in volunteering is when you learn more, is when you know how the things work, a lot of stuff like that. So that is the action. That's the action that you have put to be able to work. If you do not put this faith in practice, whatever it is, it starts dying. That is why, if you notice, there are very many dreams and plans you have been having. You have been thinking about them. I am going to do this, I'm going to do this. But you have said that for a long time. Now the thing started fading, like the passion and the desire behind it that drove you to speak about it is no longer there. It fades away. When you hear someone saying they're starting something in line with what you wanted, you say, by the way, I have always wanted to do that thing. That is all you can now say. You have always wanted to do it, but you have never taken action in actually doing the thing. Now you're hearing it from someone, then you now want to panic. Then now you're telling them, let's partner. You want them to partner, but you're procrastinator. Now over a long period of time, the thing has died. Now faith, when you always just keep piling faith and you do not take action, it dies. It dies. I am telling you. That is why you have to check around. And if you want to know yourself, look at around the things that you believe, the things where you have placed your faith, the things that you want, or the things you have been hearing over time. Because remember, even faith on itself comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So the things that you have been hearing, you might have been hearing about business ideas. You might have been hearing, and hearing is not just a form of hearing with your ears. You can hear with your eyes. You can hear with your ears through reading. That is also a form of hearing. That is a form of hearing, because as long as you're taking in, as long as you're receiving. So that is a form of faith. Faith comes by hearing the word of the Lord. Now, for the things that you have been hearing over time, which have been demotivating you, that's why at the end of the day, people start saying that motivation speakers keep lying, they lie, they tell you do this. I started with a feather to make my poultry business. I started with 1 grain of rice to make over my one. They have those jokes that they keep cracking, which is okay. But for you, what part have you played while you were hearing? Why didn't you start with the grain and we see what you can do? Or with the feather? Why can't you start at least? But you did not start, so it starts to die. It starts to die and it phases out, and it's not even useful for you whatsoever. And that is what happened to everything that you have been planning, everything you have been anticipating. Eventually, it dies. There's that crippled man that Jesus healed. Jesus asked the crippled man, and he told him, do you want to be well? The man talked more jazz. He talked a lot of things. You see me, you see me, I didn't even go in the water. There is no one to help me. He talked a lot. Then I asked him, do you want to be well? The answer is either yes or no. But then he said, okay, Jesus, I think really, after hearing a lot of mob jazz, then he said, rise, take up your mat and go. Like you raise up and take your mat. Like it is in the action that the miracle lies. Because he could have stayed there. I don't even think that man had ever tried to stand to walk. I don't think he had ever tried to start, because he just told him, pick up your mat and go. Like rise, take up your mat and go. Now, in the action is where the miracle happens. While you might be there waiting for things to happen, for things to move for you, for the business to thrive, for that appointed time that you have set in your mind to come, it is not going to come if you do not take a step. Because the appointed time is the time you take the real step. Now, go out there and take a step and do the thing. For while you speak about it, speak and speak. Because when a person who speaks is a person who has been consumed by it. But I want to tell you that do not stop at the consumption, that your heart has been filled, you have heard, you have read a lot of things, and you have the knowledge. There's too much knowledge. You can't even teach it if you have not done it. So step out, do it. We talk a lot of things, but just do it. It's in the action where the miracle lies. Well, thank you for tuning in today, and I want you to subscribe. Tell friends to subscribe. With them subscribe, I need very many more people to subscribe to this channel. It helps me get more stuff that we need to share, and the things that you may want to hear, things that can help us thrive. So while you keep subscribing, it is helpful. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.